All righty, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Paranormal Portal. It's Wednesday night. That means your wait is over. We are here, and hello. It looks like a mod party in the chat, doesn't it?
It does, yeah. We're so blue.
I'll be so blue this Christmas. No, welcome everybody, and hope you guys are doing good. Those of you that are here, those of you that are still coming in the door, and those of you that will be in the door eventually. Absolutely thrilled, as always, to be here doing the shows, and we got a cool show lined up, full of lots of paranormal goodness and fun. And then at the second hour, we're going to be welcoming our good friend, Mr. Stephen Major of Extreme Expeditions Northwest LLC, who's going to be joining us to discuss all of the projects that they're doing, as well as a new cryptocurrency he's launching that kind of celebrates the cryptozoology circle. So we're going to dive into all of that in the second hour as well. So lots on the plate tonight, folks. As always on Wednesday nights, I'm not alone here. I have company in the form of my good friend, co-host, and big toe of the Paranormal Portal, Mr. Don Longbeard.
Oh, hi.
How you doing, man?
Oh, it's one of those days. It's the end of the day, and that's all that matters. We're doing good.
It's doing good.
Yep.
We are celebrating the end of this day and halfway through the week, which is always good. It's been a weird winter up here in the Pacific Inland Northwest, folks.
God,
we've had snow, we've had rain, we've had cold. We have rain right now, and it's
We
like
have
30.
We have fog.
Is there fog out there?
The rain is so warm. The ground is so cold. We have fog.
Fog.
It's like London out there.
It's London calling. It is, huh? I didn't see the fog. I was out a little bit earlier, but
there's a lot of fog.
I try not to go out for any reason if I can help it. It's just I'm just waiting for the warm stuff to come.
He actually has jeans on today.
I do. I got jeans on. Usually I'm in khakis, but it's jeans today, folks. Even Don was like, "Hey, dude, what are you wearing?"
What do you got on?
Because I got like 18 pair of different khakis. I love khakis. I love all those pockets. That's fun. But anyway, no snow, just fog. Julia says, "Yeah, it's melting fast. Thank God." How's everybody doing? And of course, you doing good. No more shoveling, at least, right?
Yeah, not for now. The problem is that from my door to the end of my driveway is nothing but a sheet of ice.
Oh yeah,
and it's treacherous. It snowed a little last night though.
Yeah, it did.
Which is kind of nice because it froze to the ground. It froze to the ice.
And gave you some traction?
And gave us some traction, but the problem is it's been raining all day, so
right.
Now all that's gone.
Yeah.
Now we just have slippery ice.
I don't know. You think it's going to be an early spring?
Oh, yeah. I got nothing to say about that.
Okay. I don't know.
Because it just jinx it.
Yeah, that's probably true. I shouldn't even throw it out there. Yeah. Never mind. Retract that question, Your Honor. We're not alone. All right, but we are in for 2 full hours, commercial free, unless we got to use the bathroom or something, which could happen. But
it happens.
For the most part, we're just planning on it being a commercial free run.
Not in it. Hi, Portal Mom.
Hi, Mom. How you doing? And hello to all you guys that are coming in now.
Absolutely.
Good to see the numbers climbing with your love.
It's good to see a different color than blue in there.
Not that we don't love a little blue, but well, thank you.
3 to 5 inches here. Who said that?
Oh, Ruger. That's in Montana, right?
No, that's in Arizona.
Missouri. Arizona. Where the hell are you, Ruger? Where are you? I think you're in Missouri, right?
No, isn't he Mogollon Ridge?
I don't think so. Where are you, Ruger? I forgot.
He even did an episode of the.
It's not like it's all. I've only talked to one person, right? So I don't remember where the hell I am most of the time. So it's not a big leap that I don't know where anyone else is.
It is my job to keep this stuff straight.
Yeah, Don's kind of the record guy, but
he is in Missouri. Okay, fine.
Boom, baby.
Boom, baby.
How'd that taste?
He's in a state of misery.
Well, good deal. All right, so we've got a lot on board on deck. And as I said at the beginning of the second hour, we're going to be welcoming Stephen Major on the show to talk about some of the cool things that they're up to as this extreme expedition, of course, did the search for the Port Chatham Hairy Man and have done the Bigfoot of Stevens County and right. all kinds of expeditions. So he'll be joining us at about 8, and we'll dive into that when that happens. So I don't know, Don, it sounds like it's time for the news. All right, let's get to some news, folks, because it's time you were informed. All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Paranormal Portal newscast. As always, we are thrilled to have you here with us, and we're going to dive into some of the news that we've come to love here on the Paranormal Portal, and brought to you by unexplained-mysteries.com, which is a really, really cool site. They just do a great job encapsulating all this weirdness into real bite-sized morsels, which is nice to cover on our newscast. So let's get to the first one on deck, and this is it's kind of weird. Some of these are not always paranormal, just so you know. If you're new to the show, some of them are just weird, some are odd, some are just exciting new developments. So we kind of run the full spectrum of things here on the Portal newscast. But anyway, the first one up to bat is from unexplained-mysteries.com, and this is dozens of escaped ostriches run amok in China.
Ostriches?
I guess so.
Oh, wow.
They've got some ostriches running amok over in China, Don.
And they taste really good, too.
I imagine they might. I don't know. I don't know much about it. I know they make big eggs.
Oh, yeah.
But I can't say I've ever eaten ostrich. Have you eaten ostrich?
That's one big-ass egg. No, I want to, though. I want to. I mean,
Don's a meatosaur.
A meatosaurus.
He's a meatavore.
That's true.
All right, so let's get to this. Dozens of escaped ostriches run amok in China.
Could you imagine getting Can I get a plate of ostrich wings, please?
The wings? Yeah, it'd be like huge.
Yeah, like here's one for $40.
Yeah,
5
that's
people
true.
can eat it.
God, the prices of meat in the supermarket.
Remember when you used to have to ask for like beef ribs and chicken wings? You had to ask for them.
Oh, did you?
That? Oh, yeah.
I don't remember that.
Oh, yeah. People, they wouldn't even sell it. They called it, it was junk.
Oh.
You had to actually ask for it.
Well, I remember when you could buy like a turkey drumsticks for like $2 for these 2 huge slabs of
now they're $5 a pound.
Oh yeah, they're really expensive now. Like they used to be throwaways, and now they're like, oh, this is premium cut.
Yeah, premium cut. Yeah.
All right.
Are those front legs or back legs?
All right. The streets of Changzhou City were filled with large flightless birds at the weekend after 80 ostriches escaped from a local farm.
Wow.
Being the largest birds on the planet, ostriches, which can grow up to 2.8 meters tall, can be quite daunting to encounter, especially given their penchant for pecking people with their beaks. Imagine then walking down the street in Changzhou City in China's Guangxi Zhuang Autonomous Region at the weekend, only to find yourself face to face with a whole herd of them. This was the scenario that played out on Saturday when 80 of the enormous birds escaped from a local farm after someone left a gate unlocked. It's just someone. You know that guy got fired.
Yeah, exactly. Mr. X.
Yeah. Hey, Yang, you got to get into a new line of work, the unemployment line. Footage of the birds sprinting through the streets quickly ended up on social media.
I bet they did.
It's uncertain exactly who was responsible or if they will face prosecution. However, local police were eventually able to round up the birds and escort them back to the farm. Fortunately, there were no reports of injuries as a result of the debacle. There's a video.
Nice.
I think we should watch
the
that.
Ostrich run.
Yeah. It's kind of a moral imperative that we actually watch this. It looks like it comes from Reuters. This could get me in trouble, but we'll see. We're just going to take a quick look and take off the sound. 80 ostriches. There they go, right down the street. Little bastages. Look at them.
Pony Boy the ostrich is in front.
People are betting on it. Hey.
Wow.
Look at those things. They're huge. They do look like dinosaurs, though. My God, they're enormous.
They're flocking this way.
Wow, look at them go.
80 of them. That's only a portion of them.
They're plenty fast too.
Yeah,
like I think they can run like
Like
really, really fast.
like
40
fast, man. Like fast.
Like 40 miles an hour
yeah,
fast, I think.
So. I think
yeah.
you're right, yeah.
And apparently their kick is lethal. Like it could crush you. Wow. I mean, look at it. It looks like a bunch of like showgirls in like in like yoga pants, doesn't it? Doesn't it look like people, a bunch of women in yoga pants right there?
He said showgirls. Showgirls.
Well, they got the feathers, right? The big foofy feathers. So that's where the showgirl thing came from. It's like, oh no. Well, there you have it, folks. Those are the ostriches running amok in China. So there's that. That's our first article of fun here on the portal. And it only gets better from here, I'm sure. Probably not.
Probably not.
That might have been the peak of the whole show, folks, but at least for the first hour. But we'll see how we do after this now. The second article up for discussion is, of course, more concern about the government's Pentagon's new UFO office, which I think is absolutely laughable because, again, for decades, they've been calling people idiots for this stuff. Just berating and degrading people for believing that there was life somewhere else. And now they want to be all official and control the narrative. And so I think it's ridiculous personally. But anyway, let's take a look at this. Again, from unexplained-mysteries.com, skepticism continues to surround Pentagon's new UFO office. Not everyone is convinced that the new office will end the secrecy surrounding the phenomena. Oh, people actually think it's going to end the secrecy? What? Who's that stupid? No, that's just going to guarantee the secrecy. When the Pentagon announced last year that it was establishing a brand new office dedicated to finding the truth behind the UFO phenomena, reactions were mixed, to say the least. While many welcomed the move and hailed it as the end to secrecy that has surrounded UFO investigation for many decades, who were these idiots that hailed it? Others,
Tom, the TTPSA.
Yeah, no doubt. Yeah, others were deeply skeptical, instead suggesting that the move could bring about the complete opposite. I'm on that side. That's me where I am. Yep. With UFO data being harder to access than ever. This is a subject of provable history of secrecy, with a provable history of secrecy, and anything that lacks a new openness about the information is subject to more possibly inappropriate control, said MUFON's Ron James. Amen, Ron James. I'm with you, brother. We don't see that this means new resources will be dedicated to the matter. We believe that considerable resources have always been dedicated to the matter, at least at some level, deep government, inside deep government and industry. Last year, Luis Elizondo, who previously headed up a unit that was responsible for assessing military UFO encounters, also expressed his concerns surrounding the move. If we want 70 more years of secrecy on the topic, then the Office of the Undersecretary of Defense for Intelligence and Security is the perfect place to put it, he said. Good for him. I got to celebrate that. He said it right. They've had 4 years so far, and they have had little in the way of efforts serving the public interest. Lobbyist Stephen Bassett, however, remains confident in the new office. He's a lobbyist, so yeah. What do you expect? No, this isn't some new PSYOPs program. It's a planned effort to end the truth embargo, he said. Oh, whatever.
That's a great word, too.
Truth embargo.
Yeah.
While I appreciate those who are skeptical, that group has tried to find the dark side of every development and hidden hand. This is a sea change. This is a sea change brought about by the work of thousands of people and activists over 70 years, but some of these people can't help but see it as a clever black ops mission. Well, of course. I mean, it's the history.
Yeah, exactly.
That's exactly what they've demonstrated for all of this time. Why do you think suddenly this is a new happy, flowery stage? As things stand, it looks like we'll just have to wait and see how things pan out over the next few years. Well, again, if this is their job, then why aren't we hearing about more of these unreleased experiences that the military has had? I don't know. I just think it's ridiculous. It's just a matter of them trying to control the narrative and put a bottleneck on any information. And they can do that.
Yeah.
They're perfectly positioned to decipher any information and decide whether we, the people, get to know anything about it. And that's just ridiculous. So I'm not a big believer in that, Don.
Nope, me neither.
Yep, I think we agree. That is not a good development. And it's, and then NASA's doing it, and they're hiring priests, and all this conglomerates of places are working to, to prepare people for the inevitability of this new, realization.
They're already late to the party.
They're way late to the party.
They missed that boat.
Yep, they
so
did.
long ago.
They really did. Yep, and it makes you wonder about, the things like Stephen Greer says that, they're going to try to portray aliens as these invading forces, which will drive up,
Project
military. Yeah, Project Bluebeam, which will drive up military spending and all of this fear and trepidation. Now, I don't think they're here to raise hell. If they were, they would have already wiped us out.
Yeah, but that's the thing, though, is, we go back to, Eisenhower and the Greada Treaty and things like that. And if they are here and they are supposed to report, their numbers of people being abducted and make sure that those people aren't, or are mind erased or whatever, have no recall of, the probings and the things like that. And apparently, it's not happening. Because they violated that treaty, apparently, by having these people with these people come forward saying they were abducted and, anally done and blah, blah, blah. And, and some, pregnancies and things like that.
Sure, yeah.
So, I mean...
Not a lot of faith in that, then. No. Nor do I. I don't know what the hell's going on, but I don't pretend to know. But I sure as hell know that these people aren't the source for figuring it out either. Not much good has come from government control.
Well, Eisenhower, when he was leaving office, he said, "Beware the military complex."
Military-industrial complex. You're right. Beware.
And where do you think all that deep knowledge is coming from?
Yeah. Well, or not coming from.
Well, not appropriately, at least.
Yeah, exactly. So there's the newest little scuttlebutt about this. I don't know. We'll just keep watching it and see what happens. I don't have a lot of faith in this being a really great development for the flow of information.
And that's really the first thing I've heard out of Luis Elizondo's mouth that I agree with. Yeah. Because, since he partnered up with Tom Ding Dong with the TTBSA, I have my doubts about him. But I agree with him in this situation. Yeah, they've had years to come clean, and they just haven't done it.
Yeah, they've had decades. I mean, my God, they could at least said, we're seeing things we don't really understand either. But they never did. They just called people idiots. So I guess you reap what you sow. Anyway, that's that. And let's go on to the next little piece of information.
I said Tom DeLonge.
All right, let's get to the next one. I don't know what she said.
Dee said she's an anti-prober.
Well, I think I'd have to join those ranks too. I like remaining unprobed. All right, let's go to the next article here, and this is from unexplained-mysteries.com. Huge fossilized sea dragon is the largest ever found in the UK.
Wow.
A sea dragon.
What the hell is a sea dragon?
I don't know for sure. Paleontologists have uncovered what is being hailed as the UK's largest ever ichthyosaur fossil. Ichthyosaurs which looked very similar to today's dolphins, despite having no relation to them, would have been a common sight in the prehistoric seas between 250 million and 90 million years ago. While many ichthyosaurs were relatively small creatures, this particular specimen certainly wasn't. Discovered during the landscaping work at the Rutland Water Nature Reserve early last year, this gargantuan fossilized sea dragon measures 30 feet in length.
Well, now, wait a minute. They said they're relatively small. How small is relatively small?
I don't know.
Is relatively small like 10 feet in length? Or
6 feet, 5 feet, 4? Yeah. I mean, are we talking like your average bass? I don't know. Yeah. But it says 30 feet in length. It dates back to a time when the area was submerged beneath a shallow ocean, and paleontologist Dr. Dean Lomax of Manchester University has described the find as truly unprecedented and one of the greatest finds in British paleontological history. Usually we think of ichthyosaurs and other marine reptiles as being discovered along the Jurassic coast in Dorset or the Yorkshire coast, where many of them are exposed by the erosion of the cliffs, he said. Here in the inland location is very unusual. Excavations at the site remain ongoing, with the reservoir's manager, Anglian Water, is looking to raise funds so that the ichthyosaur can be exhibited to the general public in the local area. A lot of people thought I was pulling their leg when I told them I'd found a large marine reptile at work, said worker Joe Davis. I rang up the county council, and I said, I think I found a dinosaur. And here's actually an image of it.
Wow.
Yeah, that's
somebody laying beside it.
Yeah, there's a human being, and I imagine that's, in the 5.5, 6 foot range. So that's a damn big person. Oof. Or a big dinosaur. It says huge sea dragon. Yeah, it is. And there you have it. So cool. I don't know. I thought that was kind of interesting because, again, oftentimes people talk about the fossil record and there's no basis for it in the fossil record. Well, clearly the fossil record is not a finished record.
It's not complete.
It's not complete. We're still finding stuff all the time. And so to use that as a barometer for believability of species today is ridiculous. Absolutely ridiculous.
It's like saying you ate the orange, but you only peeled it halfway. Yeah, probably not.
Right. So anyway, I think that's a cool development, and we'll see how all that turns out. But yeah, it's such an arrogance of science. Like, well, there's no record of it in the fossil record. It's like, well, there's not a lot in the fossil record, comparatively speaking, to what already has existed. I mean, clearly they're always adding to the fossil record, so it's not a comprehensive authority in its own right. All right, here we go. Here's another one. Acts of God kind of territory here, but let's take a look. And it says, this is from January 1st of 2022, Don. I did say Don, but it came out with a weird sound. So
yeah, it came out with a J in the front.
It sounded like it, but it was actually me making a D, but not actually pressing the tongue, So like John,
yep, okay.
John, like that.
D
so
being a D, yep.
All right, so here it is. Fish rain reported in the skies over Texarkana. Fish rain, Don. Cloudy with a chance of fish. Residents of the Texas town couldn't believe their eyes when actual fish started to fall from the heavens. The peculiar deluge, which occurred Wednesday, was later confirmed by a post on the town's official Facebook page that reassured readers that the freak weather event was not a joke. 2021 is pulling out all the tricks. What did he say, 2021? Apparently he forgot which year it was. Including raining fish in Texarkana today, the post reads. This is from 2022, though. Yeah, anyway. All right, maybe a typo. The post reads, animal rain is a phenomena that occurs when small water animals like frogs, crabs, and other fish are swept up in water spouts or drafts. Could you imagine a draft pulling fish up? I just can't. That occur on the surface of the earth. They are then rained down at the same time as the rain. Numerous residents quickly took to social media to post up their own photographs of the fish rain, while local news station also got in on the action with the televised report. See below. There was a loud crack of thunder, one witness told the reporter.
Wow.
And it rained fish for days. We opened up at the back door and looked outside. It was raining real hard, and a fish hit the ground. I said, it's raining fish. And Brad was like, no, it's not. And I'm like, no, it really is.
No, really, it is. And I'm like, kind of.
It's raining fish. Hallelujah. Sorry. All right, let's check it out.
It was raining fish.
All right, that was good. Thank you. That was the end of the news. I mean, what more can they,
that was
are they going to say?
literally it?
No, it's not. There's another 54 seconds of it. But.
It's raining fish.
And now to our correspondent.
It was raining fish.
All right, thank you. Okay, moving along, folks. That is that report. I mean, what do you expect? They're going to say, oh, it's a result of water spouts. Not unusual. Happens all the time. See you later at the end. Goodbye. But that was that report. And after that, of course, we've got... This one is kind of a weird one. I'm not sure. I think this was a man-made kind of thing, an accidental thing. But at any rate, it's been burning for a while. And, of course, I'm speaking of Turkmenistan's gateway to hell. It's apparently hell's going to be extinguished, Don.
Oh, is that exothermally or?
I'm not sure, but it says Turkmenistan's gateway to hell to be extinguished. And this is from January 9th, 2022. Efforts are currently underway to extinguish the fiery pit, which attracts thousands of tourists every year. What are they going to do to make up for that? Located in Derwize, Ahal province, the burning pit received its terrifying nickname due to its ominous appearance and because it has remained on fire for more than 40 years. Originally thought to be an oil field site, it has been speculated that the pit was opened up by Soviet engineers after drilling, and they set up collapsed into a ring or a large crater. Concerned about the release of toxic fumes, they set the gas on fire, believing it would burn out within weeks. But instead, it remained alight for more than 4 decades. Now, though, Turkmenistan's president, Gurbanguly, and then that's his last name, Berdy Muhammadov, has declared that the gateway to hell is to be extinguished, putting an end to the inferno once and for all. The crater negatively affects both the environment and the health of the people living nearby, he said during a recent television address. We are losing valuable natural resources for which we could get significant profits and use them for improving the well-being of our people. There's a snag, however. He had previously instructed experts to find a way to extinguish the fire all the way back to 2010, but they were unable to come up with a solution. Whether things will be different this time around remains to be seen.
Wow.
So I don't know. What is he talking about? Basically grabbing and using this gases for energy, or what is he talking about?
Well, that would be a good idea. I mean, it's been burning for 40 years. It's created all this lost energy in the heat itself.
Sure.
Or, the lost energy in the use of the natural gas that's obviously burning there.
Right.
So, why don't they, put something over it like a heat turbine?
Yeah.
And make some money off of it.
Right. Or if they can get it out, maybe they can cover it. I don't know how big it is. It doesn't really say how big is this thing. But maybe they can just cover it and smother it and then just tap it for the leaking gas. But, I mean, if they just put it out and it just still ekes the gas, then it might as well be on fire. Because
might as well stay on fire.
Right. Yeah, I mean, because either you have the exhaust of the burning gases or you have the gases. But either way, I'm sure neither of those is good for people. But maybe the exhaust is a little less dangerous. I don't know. What?
It's just crazy. I mean, how do you know? That's like that town that's been burning in the Midwest for 50 years.
The coal one, with the coal shafts.
I think that's the one.
Yeah, there was like the coal fires in the mines, and they're still burning. All this time later.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
I mean, how do you put them out?
Yeah, I don't know. Obviously, they can simmer for a long, long time. But we just report the news, folks. We don't make it. We don't make the news, Don.
No,
we don't.
Nope.
All right, but let's get to the next one. So they're going to put out the gateway to hell, which is kind of comforting. After all, having an open gate to hell is probably not a good thing.
Oh, it's not in the Midwest. It is, I believe it's Pennsylvania.
Oh, okay. Gotcha. Yeah.
It's been burning since 1962.
That's a long time. That's a lot of coal.
Yeah.
All right. The next one from Unexplained-Mysteries is Mystery of Cube on the Moon has been solved. Remember on the Chinese lander saw this little dot on the horizon and they were going to go check it out? Well, apparently it's been solved. It says China's U-22, Y-U-T-U, and then the number 2. So it's U-22. U-22 rover has determined the nature of the mystery cube-shaped object that was photographed last month. The latest in a long line of anomalous objects spotted in photographs taken on the lunar surface, the peculiar cube-shaped object generated a great deal of speculation back in December. The fact that it was situated on the hidden far side of the moon only served to heighten the mystery, with Chinese scientists opting to send the rover all the way across the crater to investigate. Now at last, after more than a month of trundling across the lunar regolith, the U-22 rover has finally determined exactly what the mystery object is, and yes, it's a rock. Wow.
How yeah, exactly. How anticlimactic is that?
How much did it cost to run that thing over there and see a rock?
How far away was it?
I don't know. It looks like it's far away, though. It took them a month to get there.
A month. Holy crap.
So its cube-like appearance was seemingly down to a chance arrangement of light and shadow. To further emphasize how things can look like other things, there's also been reports that the cube was in fact rabbit-shaped, or at least that's how it had appeared as the rover had gotten nearer. The scattered stones in front of it were also reported to have resembled a carrot.
Oh my gosh.
Well, I think we might be doing a little bit of...
now we're...
so whatever. As the close-up image below proves, however, it's really nothing more than a bog standard rock. Okay, there it is. That's a stretch to say that's a rabbit and a carrot.
No, not really. I mean, because the
haunches,
ears, the ears and the crouch down.
Kind of. I mean, it's pareidolia for sure.
Well, yeah.
But at any rate.
But it's sure. It's like it's prey to predator to prey.
Sure.
Looks like it's just stalking that carrot.
It's moving in. It took
like
so long. It
brown snow. Maybe,
turned to stone. There you go. I don't know. That, at least the mystery's been solved. And yeah, I don't think that's a cover-up. I think that's probably exactly what it is. I think that makes sense. Probably a few rocks up there that might resemble something. Just saying. So now we come up, as long as we're talking about space, let's talk about a kind of an existential question. What happens if somebody dies in space?
I would imagine they die.
Yep, they still die. That's true, Don. You are absolutely dialed in on that one. But let's see what the article says from unexplained-mysteries.com. What will happen if someone actually dies in space? It's an inevitability that space agencies and private firms will one day have to face during manned space missions. Commercial spaceflight companies such as Virgin Galactic and Blue Origin, they didn't even say Tesla's SpaceX, are now offering exclusive opportunities for celebrities and civilians to travel to space. Traditionally, astronauts have been subject to rigorous training and medical scrutiny before going to space, and the risk of death from natural causes was considered remote. But in this new era of space tourism, it appears medical screening may not be carried out, and only minimal pre-flight training provided. With a wide variety of people now going into space, and the prospect in the coming years of humans establishing bases on the moon and beyond, it raises an important question. What happens if someone dies in space? Ooh, this is a long one. I'm just going to read a little bit more. I didn't realize it was this long. Under international space law, individual countries are responsible for authorizing and supervising all national space activity, whether the governmental or private. In the United States, commercial tourist space flights require a license for launch to be issued by the Federal Aviation Administration. Should someone die on a commercial tourist mission, then there would need to be a determination as to the cause of death. If the death of a space flight participant was due to a mechanical fault by the spacecraft, blah, 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 whatever. So I don't know what's the question. Of course, you'd bring the body back and you'd put it in the ground, right?
Just blow my ass out of the lock.
Just put me out there with drape a flag over me and shoot me towards the sun.
Yeah, stick it.
Yeah, I don't know.
Has he got a tail? No, it's a flag.
Well, what does happen? I guess you die, and then you come back and you get interred into the ground or cremated, however you have arrangements set up for your eventual demise, I guess.
So if I was a member of, what's that called? I forgot what it's called.
What?
Poseidon? Is it the Poseidon Society?
I don't know what that is.
Yeah, I think it is the Poseidon Society. So say like you go to a different country, right? Say you go to Europe.
Okay.
And you die in Europe, right?
Mm-hmm.
And you don't have a way to get your body back to the States or to your family or whatever.
Must have something to do with oceans or water, right?
Well, yeah, it's about the idea of crossing water to get somewhere and dying while you're either on a boat or so I think it's called the Poseidon Society.
Okay.
And so I wonder, you can become a member of the Poseidon Society, and they will work to have your body shipped back to where you want to be, whether you be from, if you're in like Bolivia or Europe, somewhere in France or Russia, whatever. Mm-hmm. So it's a plan to get you back to the States back to your loved ones and interred properly.
Right.
So I wonder if that would extend out to, the Oort cloud. He
Oort
died
cloud.
while mining the Oort cloud.
Yeah.
Oh, Poseidon's going to bring it back. No, just set me on fire, blow me out the lock. I'm good to go.
Yeah, I mean, it's like you're kind of done at that point anyway.
Yeah.
It's not like somebody's going to make a vase out of my innards or something. It's like, yeah, wherever I'm at, just, shoot me towards the sun. I'm good. If it's in space, if it's here at home, then, dig a hole.
Yeah.
Flop me over.
Yeah.
I'm good to go. But
Bury me face down.
oh no, I'm not even going near that. I'm not even going near to that, Don. You can't make me. You can't make me. But that, ladies and gentlemen, will conclude tonight's newscast. All right, folks, here we are back at it.
What happens if you die from a chest burster? Is that
I think
natural
you have to
cause?
donate yourself to science at that point. They probably want to look into that a little more.
Hello, my dear darling. Hello.
Yeah, it's like
Hello, my ragtime gal.
the toad that dances. Yeah, the wasn't that from a movie?
Spaceballs.
Spaceballs. Yeah,
Oh, my goodness. Yes.
that's right.
Check.
All right, but yeah, I suppose chest burster would change the equation a little bit, and then you might have different ramifications for your post life body. But anyway,
Post life, your unalived body.
yeah, your underutilized frame. I don't know, but we are going to move on now, folks. We're going to dive into the paranormal fun that you've grown to love here on the portal. And I hope you enjoyed the newscast. We do those every live show. We do the live shows Wednesday, Friday, and Saturday right here on our YouTube channel. So if you're enjoying yourself and having a good time, then by all means, stick around.
Ooh, Rachel, that doesn't sound good.
Oh, what?
She says to preserve the body's freshness, they make use of technology that created freeze-dried ice cream.
Nice.
So,
Nice. Nice.
It's like what was that Star Trek where they were shooting people and they were turning into just these cubes? Remember that?
Nope, I don't.
Well, it was
remember
a
that
Star
one.
Trek. I know it
Okay.
was. And they were shooting people and they were turning into these little cubes.
Okay.
And
No,
you got them wet or something and they came back. Can't remember. I have
just
to
a
remember
drop
that.
of water.
I mean, that was filmed in like 64, 65,
Oh, no,
I'll
I
have to look into that.
oh, so this is like Shatner Star Trek?
Yeah, it was
Oh,
Shatner
okay.
Star Trek,
Well,
yeah.
makes it more believable. I don't know if that plot would have
Does
flew
it?
on Next Generation, but it was yeah, that's interesting. Who knows what alien tech could do? I mean, I don't pretend to know. I'm certainly not worldly enough to know such things, but
What? Ugh, whatever. Okay. Borg cube. No, not Borg cube.
oh, did you do a search? Oh.
Buoy. No, not Borg's
All right.
cube.
Well, let's get to more of the paranormal fun that we're going to go through tonight. There's a couple of things that I wanted to cover, one of which I really like the discussion of artifacts out of time.
They were tetrahedrons.
Tetrahedrons?
Yeah,
Okay.
they were tetrahedrons.
Okay. Do you want me to beam you back into the mothership here? Or are you good?
No, I'm good. I'm sorry.
I love the artifacts out of time, and to me, those are absolutely fascinating and seem to suggest that there's a history that we're not aware of completely. Anyway, a lot of weirdness has been uncovered, and now the source of this article is I don't know. I've never heard of this site before, but I did see it, and I went, "Ooh, I'm going to talk about this on the show."
Oh.
I don't know if it's legitimate or not, but I'm going to present it to you as it exists, as I saw it. And if any of you want to look into it further and try to see if there's any validation to this, that would be cool. But this article comes from a site called alienstar.net, and it's 300 million year old iron pot found in coal. Now, let me just say, if there was indeed an iron pot found in 300 million year old coal, that would predate prevailing scientific theory of the advent of modern humans by about 299.8 million years or 9 million years, as the prevailing scientific theory suggests that modern humans have been around maybe 100,000 years roughly. And so apparently 300 million years ago, people were forging iron and working out crafting and such. So that does not correlate to the existing scientific theory of the development of human or Homo sapiens. And we don't know that this is Homo sapiens, but some race of people or beings that were more advanced than just being knuckle dragging, ape people, managed to forge iron. And this also goes along with like the London hammer, which was found embedded in rock and which wouldn't handle as both petrified and turning to coal in both states. And it was embedded in a 300 million year old rock. So apparently there's a lot that had gone on here way longer ago than we're led to believe. Let me read the article. Let me blow up the article first because it's freaking tiny. And I don't do tiny. All right.
He likes it big.
Thank you.
22nd episode of the second season. Sorry.
I have needs. I like them big. The words. That's what I'm talking about here.
Moto.
We recently covered the astonishing discovery deep within a coal mine under Rostov in Russia. Fortunately photographed by Mr. Kasatkin, an experienced safety engineer who discovered the prints of what appears to have been left by the wheels of a chariot which once traversed the sand when it was soft, over time becoming fossilized, cast into solid rock, sandstone aged at over 300 million years old. From Mr. Kasatkin's keen interest in unexplained artifacts, he had suspected that the finds could in all possibility be hidden from the public, and indeed, the shafts where these important finds were located subsequently was flooded, blocking off any possible retrieval attempts. However, these seemingly impossible prints are thankfully not the only unexplained artifacts found deep within the mines of the earth. In 1912, workers shoveling coal in the municipal electric plant in Thomas, Oklahoma, would make an equally important discovery. As they were breaking up large clumps of coal in preparation for the furnaces, to their surprise, a small iron pot would be ejected from one of the chunks. Mystified by the pot's sudden appearance into reality, they would preserve the pool, along with its accompanying lump of coal, I think they mean the pot, which had remained in its tomb for an unimaginable amount of time. Several experts would examine the iron pot, over the following few days, declaring it genuine. The imprint of the pot could also still be seen in the broken chunks of coal that had encased it for all possibility millions and millions of years. According to Robert O'Fay of the Oklahoma Geological Survey, the Wilburton Mines coal in which the pot was found is an incredible 312 million years old. The cup is now displayed at a private museum in southern Missouri. Ruger, we need you to go on a field trip. You got to go on a field trip for us, buddy. I don't know which the private museum is, but it was fortunately photographed by Robert Nordling, who sent a copy to Frank Lewis Marsh, emeritus professor of biology at Andrews University in Berrien Springs on the 10th of January 1949. He forwarded the images to Wilbert Rustick, 1971. Rusch was a professor of biology at Concordia College and a founder of the Creation Research Society, for which he once served as president. Although over the years since the discovery of the pot, several attempts to discredit its authenticity have been attempted, numerous said individuals, along with their accompanying explanation, all avoid or forget to mention the fact that the certificate of authenticity exists, a certificate confirming the story as accurate. This means that we now have several artifacts we know to be in existence, which, according to modern understanding as to the age of coal, are over 300 million years old.
Wow.
Wow is right?
Well, so Dover Paratech says, so the only question I have now is how can a cast iron pot, not rust away in that amount of time? Now, if it was sealed in coal, if it was sealed in coal, I suppose it's kind of airtight in there.
Yeah, I don't know.
Coal.
I'm not sure what the formation of coal requires. And that's a great question. Why wouldn't it oxidize and just be, a pile of rust? Well, I mean, oxidization requires oxygen, and it also requires moisture, oxygen, and an oxidizing surface like iron. So perhaps it was so well embedded in the coal or the matter that it never got enough oxygen to actually oxidize. I don't know.
That it didn't matter.
I don't know. I mean, I'm not a scientist by any measure
Right.
or leap of understanding, but it seems to me that if this is genuine, and there's no question that I have no idea. I don't know, but it's an exciting prospect to me. But I can't speak to why it wasn't rusted. What are the what naturally occurring processes were not in play for this to actually erode into rust. I don't know, but good question. That's a great to put it out there. But it would take millions of years for coal to form. Yeah. Now the question being, does it remain wet until it actually becomes coal, or does it become a dry compact carbonate due to pressure, geological pressure, and perhaps heat from geological motion or whatever to create the coal? Could that have just encased it, and as the matter decomposed to the carbon? I don't know. And again, I'm just spitballing ideas. I don't pretend to know. Right. So those are great questions, Dover, and I wish I had answers for you, but it is interesting. It's interesting. If anyone finds any more information, makes sense. The Bogman survived. True enough. Right. And actually, the peat bogs in Northern Ireland or in Northern UK, they actually recovered papyrus and scrolls that were made out of papyrus that by all accounts should have weathered away, but for some reason in those peat bogs they remained encased and preserved, and through excavations they were able to uncover and actually read those scrolls, and I found it fascinating that they read just like any letter might today. Right. Hey, miss you guys, wish you were here, where this is what's going on, the weather's been beautiful, blah blah blah. It's just like any other letter that you would see through nowadays if you wrote a letter to somebody. So but yeah, that's very interesting points. Interesting points, folks. I don't know, but I'm excited by this because I love the idea that there's more to this, more to what's going on here. And of course, that's why I do a paranormal show, and that's why the Paranormal Portal exists. But I do have a confirmation bias. I got to be, fully upfront about that. I want this to be real, but I can't know that it is. Right. So I'm not blind to the fact that logic would say, there's a lot of things that make you wonder, and you're right. But I do hope it's real. Right.
Now, there was an iron pot that we read about just a week or two ago about in China, wasn't there? Or was it in China or India? Remember, we just talked about one.
Did we? Okay. Yeah, I don't recall right offhand. Just thinking back, I'm not. It's not coming to me. Was it another artifact out of time?
No.
Okay.
No, it wasn't. No. But it was extremely old, and part of what when we started reading this, but I think Digger said something about there's an iron pot, there's an iron post. Oh, the iron post that's over 900 years old with no rust. Right, that lingam. But no, there was a pot that we talked about that was in China just a week or two ago, and it being extremely old. So there you go.
Yeah, and I think these things are exciting because it does suggest, I've often thought, with the other artifacts out of time, it seems like there's these periods of development and then there's these periods of reboot, where it's like there's some other, I don't know if it's an intelligence or if it's just a geographical or geological cycle that, there will be advents of enormous effect that maybe wipe the slate clean. Right. Whether it's natural disasters, whether it's, of course, like earthquakes, floods, pestilence, disease, whatever it is, there seems to be enough that correlates during certain cycles where, the hammer keeps hitting and eventually kind of baselines everything back, and the survivors have to kind of start over. And I don't know if there's merit to that or not, but it just seems like these things came from somewhere, if they are indeed legitimate, and it would suggest that there's a whole bunch of hidden history and possibly ancient knowledge that's been lost, that it would be neat to see, and to know, how did they do things? How did, what was their history? Were they human in terms of what we expect human to be?
Right.
And who knows? They could have been some other ancient species that eventually, became advanced enough to leave this planet, and so we're just the next life form that happened to pull itself out of the primordial soup. I don't know. It's anybody's guess, but I think it's very interesting. The Iron Pillar of Delhi.
Yes.
Is what Rachel says. Okay.
Right. Yeah.
Yep. That's a good point. Maggie says, my favorite quote right now is, everyone you meet knows something that you don't.
Right.
And I love it. That is true. You never can disregard people completely. But yeah, I thought that was a cool article. I hope you guys enjoyed that, because I love when these things come up. I find them incredibly interesting. I see there's a bunch more.
Well, it's 8:00.
It's 8:00. Okay. Well, that means we got to try to get a hold of our good friend, Mr. Stephen Major, and see if he's all set to go.
There's 21 million penguins in Antarctica. The population of Ireland is 6.6 million. So if all the penguins in Antarctica decided to invade Ireland, each person would have to fight off 3 million penguins.
Oh my God!
Wow! Somebody does some serious math.
Those are some numbers for sure. All right, let's see what we got here.
Sorry, I just.
Okay.
Oh man.
I don't see him being online here. Let's see.
All right, well.
Let's see what he does. Let me know. Let me know when you're ready. It's 8.
Oh goodness.
Okay, we'll just see him. Let's pick up another article in the meantime till I hear back from him, and we'll find out just when he's ready to connect. And maybe something's come up that he can't, but we'll.
Elaine says, with some of the idiots around here, it's everyone I meet, I know something they don't. Yeah.
Oh no. Oh dear. I think we lost our spot on this one since my computer restarted itself.
Oh goodness.
Yeah, this is not good. Not good. No. I'm gonna have to go through this article and figure out where we was on this, but the next one, let me see if there's a one-off here that we could do. This is one as well. That's the cup. Yeah, I'll go into this one 15 times. Now, I just did a recent podcast, ladies and gentlemen, and I had a lot of fun digging up these stories. I hope you guys check it out if you haven't already. But these stories are absolutely fascinating in that they seem to show when animals kind of jump past their normal role and extend themselves to intercede on our behalf and to save people in ways you wouldn't expect. And I think that's interesting because it either indicates an emotional awareness in these animals and emotional depth, or it indicates that they are tools for divine intervention and are activated as such. But in any case, I think it's a fascinating thing. So if you haven't checked it out, please check it out. You can find our podcast on all the podcast players, and that's Pandora, Spotify, iHeart, iTunes, Google Play, Stitcher, Castbox, and more and more and more. He's starting up Skype now, so he'll be with us shortly. This is an article that I think most of these have run the gambit many times before, but this is an article from entravelers.com, en.travelers.com, and it's time travelers. And these I find are very interesting, and mostly, I don't know, I don't put a lot of stock into most of them because I think it's just, I don't think it would be quite that easy to spot these things, but they find little footprints in like movies and stuff where could this be a time traveler, in photos that appeared, and such and such. So let me just see. I should probably wait and if he's getting it jumped up and going. Let me just, we'll just go into this a little bit. Sorry for the jumble here, folks, but these people say they are real-life time travelers, and here's the proof. Again, from en.travelers.com. Time Travelers Real. And the first one is The Old Woman for the Future. I think this comes from a Charlie Chaplin movie. It says, back in 2010, director George Clark was watching old footage of the greats. One of those greats was the film The Circus by the brilliant Charlie Chaplin, which has definitely stood the test of time. But when George took a look at it with fresh eyes, he noticed a very strange situation in a scene. Was there an old lady with a cell phone in the film, as seen here? And there it is. This is a close-up of this woman that just happens to be walking. Okay, it looks like he's ready. And it says, obviously, that tech didn't exist at the time. Some people online seem to think she is a time traveler. Caught on camera, others are unconvinced. Strange, to say the least. All right, let me get a hold of him and bring him into the
All right.
into the discussion here. All right, let me just do this again and see if he's there. All right. Well, I don't know. It looks like, okay. This is the one we did use. It doesn't look like it's online, but I'll give it a call anyway, and we'll see just what's going on here. Just what it is. Looks like it's calling. We'll see if he picks up.
She's got a Walkman.
A Walkman? Yeah, that would make much more sense. They do predate cell phones, after all. All right, let's see what's going on. Looks like it's
Ring.
Looks like it's calling. This is the one we've used to talk to him in the past.
The portal's calling.
London calling. Now that song's kind of stuck in my head. Doesn't look like he's answering. Heard any good jokes, Dan?
Yeah, probably, but none I can remember.
And none appropriate for the portal.
Probably not.
As we do try to make this family show. Looks like it's just ringing, huh?
Maybe it's the other one.
Well, the other one was like a year ago. This one was 10 months ago.
I don't know.
I am calling.
So anyhow, I referenced that Star Trek episode. It's episode 22, season 2. And they're turning people into tetrahedrons.
Yeah, you had mentioned that.
The Kelvins, yeah.
Huh. Let's see if there's another account that he'd rather use. We'll get it sorted, folks, because that's what we do here in the portal. We sort. We sort the oddities of the paranormal. We sort the strangeness in our lives. We sort the humor that we find every day. Let's see what's going on. He's saying something. Oh, I see you there. Just a sec. Okay. He will be connecting with us shortly, ladies and gentlemen. And this is, again, he's been on the show before. Stephen Majors has appeared a couple of times anyway. And he, again, was with Extreme Expeditions Northwest, LLC. And this is the group that's done several documentaries into the Bigfoot phenomena. And they have some great shows. The Search for the Poor Chatham Hairy Man is one. And they've also done several in Washington State, in the county called Stevens County. And they've had some fantastic things occur on their expeditions. They're brilliantly put together. They're extraordinarily watchable and entertaining. And it really keeps you on the edge of your seat. I just love what they're doing. And he's also the creator and host of a show called Bigfoot Today, which is a YouTube show you can check out as well. I don't know if they're actively in season right now doing shows, but there's several phenomenal interviews on record there you can check out as well. And he is also spearheading a new cryptocurrency called Cryptid Coin, and I'm sure he'll mention that and talk about that a little bit as well. So lots of exciting things going on here, and really excited to have him on the show. As soon as he can connect, we'll see what's going on. It's that darn technologies that we so love here on the portal. Sometimes they work brilliantly, and other times they work horribly. And the virtue of the shows depend on them, unfortunately, because we are obviously an electronic show. Let's see if we can connect with them. Nope, still not green.
So a Chinese astronaut claims to have heard mysterious knocking sounds in space on 3 separate occasions.
Oof.
Is there an explanation?
Knocking in
Yeah,
space.
Yeah.
Well, you got to think about the temperature variations do things. Like the whole house, your house shifts. It says I'm calling you, but I'm not getting a ring. Are you?
Oh, this was way back in 2003.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Yeah, I wonder what the knocking could be. I mean, if it's just, well, you'd think they would know if it's just the normal, hey, this is the sound it makes when it's cold. This is the sound it makes when it's hot, and here's the difference.
So according to him, the astronaut, that from time to time he heard knocking coming from nowhere.
Ooh.
It was like someone knocking on the hull outside the ship. And the knocking sound itself was like hitting a hammer on a bucket.
Wow.
A wooden hammer on a bucket.
Oh,
The
wow.
knocking was irregular and appeared and disappeared unexpectedly.
Cool. I may have to restart my Skype if this next connection doesn't work. Let me just see. It is.
Wow.
Huh.
Well, he warned the other astronauts in previous preceding missions about the sound. There is confirmation that they heard the same sound during other missions.
Okay, you got me.
There we go.
Holy smokers.
Holy smokes, that darn technologies, huh? Welcome to the show, brother. Can you hear me? Can you hear us? Uh-oh. He may not be able to hear us.
Okay, we got to delay it.
Oh yeah, there's always a delay, but there should only be a couple seconds or a second.
Yeah, I got you.
Okay, good.
Let me make sure. Yeah, dude, you think I would have got better with this stuff.
Well, we all struggle with that. Believe me, I used to do IT, and I still get struggling.
Yeah, well, dude, that's Donnie Longbeard.
Yeah.
Where? Who?
Dude, it's been so long. I think it's been like pre-COVID, like a year and a half since I've been on the show.
Yeah, it definitely has.
Yeah,
It definitely
it's been
has.
a while. Yep.
But you've been an extraordinarily busy guy, though.
Dude, let me tell you, this COVID thing, I know it sounds weird to be talking about it, like, because we thought it was all over with. And then you got the new Omicron thing that comes up and throws a wrench into everything. But, I've been trying to keep busy on some stuff. But hey, I'm sorry, I was listening to the podcast earlier, and I got to tell you, what you guys are talking about tonight is absolutely fascinating.
Oh, cool. Thank you.
When they find old stuff, and it's like, well, where did this come from, and when, and who made it, and things like that. I mean, it's like, I'm not much of an archaeologist kind of guy, but it always fascinates me when they find things.
Yeah.
And they're like,
yeah, I agree. It's really
like,
weird, isn't it? I mean, it's creepy to think that there's this whole segment of history that we don't know.
Yeah.
Crazy stuff. So tell us what kind of things are you up to now? I know you guys have done some incredible documentaries into the Bigfoot world, and you're currently working on another one. Isn't that correct?
Right. Well, dude, thanks for starting out that way, because I was going to bring that up. We've got what I want people to know is this. Just this last month, before the end of the year, I put 2 of our documentaries are available on YouTube.
Uh-huh.
And one of them is Sullivan Creek Sasquatch, which we filmed in 2020 up there in outside of Medellin Falls. Mm-hmm. It's on Facebook now, and you can watch it for free. I apologize for the commercials, but it's Facebook.
Sure.
That's available, and we also made Bigfoot of Stevens County. The one we did there with Will Ulmer. Bigfoot Encounters in the Pacific Northwest is now available on YouTube as well. So if you have an opportunity to get on YouTube, you can watch them for free. Like I said, there is some commercials. They're still available on some of the pay-per-view stuff, but they're out there and they're free. So those two are on there. So I would encourage everybody to if you haven't seen the films, get up there and you can check them out for free.
Yeah,
and then, but I have to tell you this, they've only been on there. One of them I put on December 6th. Sullivan Creek Sasquatch I just put on there on December 6th, and we're getting. I mean, it's over. I think it's like over 200 views or something like that. But I didn't know that much about YouTube. But man, they get reach. It's like in 36 countries, and I'll tell you what, I'm getting a lot of people message me, and I've had calls off the film for people that have had sightings up in Pend Oreille County. But internationally, people in Britain evidently have a lot to do because they're watching it, and these guys are, they're sending me emails and saying, "Oh, you need to go back and look at this, and the film was great," and all this kind of stuff. So I like the reach that's getting, but they're available. So check those out.
And they are so well done. I mean, you guys have really pulled out all the stops and done a magnificent job. Not only in the quest for the Bigfoot, but just in the process and how you guys are recording the story of looking for Bigfoot. I think is phenomenal. Like it's truly top-notch work. It's really well done.
Well, thank you for that, because I both those films I absolutely adore, and then Josiah Martin of Martin Media, who did all the filming and editing for Bigfoot Encounters in the Pacific Northwest. He did a fabulous job. And then you have Marshall White of Marshall White Productions up there. He's out of Medellin Falls, who did Sullivan Creek Sasquatch. He did a hell of a job on that. It's great. It's a great movie too. They're kind of different, but they're kind of the same. But they're both done really, really well. And I thank those guys as artists, as producers and filmmakers and whatnot. They really did a nice job on both those films. I'm looking forward to working with both of them again in the future. But you brought up another thing too, so we jumped ahead because I on my notes here I kind of had that in the background talk about films. I'd mentioned, prior to COVID, we had mentioned doing a film called The Siege at Alpha 5, which was actually going to be somewhat of a, it's a fictional film really, but 80% of the film, is a real Bigfoot research and investigation deal, and then we were going to throw 20% of it. Is going to be fiction with a lot of action, helicopters, bombs, explosions, and things like that. Mm-hmm. And boy, we were so ready to go on that, and that, it has been a while. And then the COVID thing hit, and it just knocked everything into the dirt. Well, we haven't forgotten about that film, and we're going to be doing that in April of 2022. We're starting to ramp things up on that. I've been in touch with some of the cast and some of the crew, and we're kind of starting to make plans for that. And on February 14th, the week of February 14th, I haven't told anybody exactly the date yet because I'm not sure on it, but we're going to be doing kind of a promo fly-in up there in Chihuahua.
Wow.
And whatnot to kick off, to get interest in the film going again. But yeah, we're going to be doing that. So that's coming up. So I'm excited about that too.
Yeah, that's phenomenal. And I got to give you a lot of credit because you've been at this for a while now, and you've managed to put together these amazing expeditions and documentaries. You put together this phenomenal show, Bigfoot Today. You've managed to put together conferences and be involved in the planning of several Bigfoot conferences, as well as the work on this film, as well as all of these things. And you've managed to bring in some incredibly talented people on all of those. Like you're working with, several times you're working with Ken Gerhard, you're working with Adam Davis regularly, Will Ulmer, Bill Basson, and this incredible group of people that you've got around you. And it's really reflects the quality of what you guys are doing.
And I appreciate you saying that, because I have been blessed in that regard. That that I've been able to to have these wonderful people working with me, and doing these things, which make things happen. And as far as the show Bigfoot Today goes, I loved doing that. It was a great show. We got 9 episodes in there, and we were planning on the same thing too. We were planning on renewing that and doing some additional episodes. Doing a second season on that. Mm-hmm. And COVID actually kind of hampered that thing as well. And so we haven't really got that up going again. I don't know if we're going to be coming out with a second season on that anytime soon. But I'll tell you what, I love watching. That's one of the shows I never really liked watching myself before because I thought, you know how that is, a weird thing. You don't like to see yourself on TV. But during the last year, I've gone back and watched all the episodes of Bigfoot Today, and they were great shows. And but it was nothing I had to do with it. It was we had great guests, in the topics and the things they discussed. From Tom Seawood, we know who we had down here, from Ken Gerhardt, and when we had Russell Cord from Expedition Bigfoot, we had a great cast of people that really made the show. And there's really some good stuff in there, and I encourage people to go back and look at those and watch some of those episodes, because we covered a lot of good stuff.
Yeah, and those interviews were really incredible. I that's where I became aware of people like Will Almer. Was actually from your interview on there, and I was like, wow, this guy is fascinating. And just the dedication and the energy that they expend doing what they love is pretty incredible.
Oh yeah, and they're all great people, and they just continue to get out there and they do things and whatnot. I would say that the one thing that I miss is being in BC. We wanted to do another film in BC, but until things change with the COVID border crossing restrictions and stuff like that, we just won't be able to do it. But I've just been really chomping at the bit to get back into BC for a little bit. I'm from there anyway, so and up there on Vancouver Island, but that's a ways off. So we're gonna continue to focus on things that we're doing down here, and so so we're gonna be kicking off the in April. It looks like barring any other catastrophic event, we're gonna be moving forward with the Siege Alpha 5 filling up there out of Chewieland and Colville.
Mm-hmm. That's incredible. Yeah, I just I'm fascinated with how much you've undertaken and how well you guys are doing it, and it's really exciting because everything you're putting out, I can't wait for it to come out either. It's just really, really well done stuff. And you're also busy about in the financial markets too. Did you did you want to talk about that?
Yeah, no, the cryptid coin. I don't. This is a tough one because I've actually been trying to explain this. Cryptocurrency is the wave of the future. Mm-hmm. It really is. I mean, you had the Bitcoin thing and people laughed and all about Bitcoin, and they were buying hamburgers with it and stuff like that. And then 10 years later, it's worth 60,000 a Bitcoin, stuff like that. But that's not really the point. I like that the cryptocurrency thing is, because I invest in that stuff. I buy Shiba and I've done all that, and I invested, and I was like, well, a lot of this, it's really the idea behind it is a decentralized system. And when we say decentralized, there's no government regulation. It's just peer-to-peer. It's, an expansion of peer-to-peer, but it's also global and stuff like that. And it's managed by the people that are involved in it. Mm-hmm. And it's also a means of exchange. And so I thought, you know what?
Oh, you're breaking up, brother. You
and that was...
You broke up a little bit there. I'm sorry. What was that?
Well, originally I thought about coming up with a Sasquatch coin.
Oh, okay.
But and I thought, Sasquatch coin. But it was something from the virtual currency avenue that would, that people would be interested in, that was geared directly towards people in the cryptozoology community. And that's where I came up with the CryptoCoin. Because if you just came out with something that was like a Sasquatch coin or something like that, you would be alienating all those people that have interest in other things that are as far as cryptids go.
Right. Oh, sure. Yeah.
And a few other people there had been a few people who thought, I'm going to capitalize this. I'm going to come up on a Squatch coin and get everybody to buy it. But there was really no purpose behind it. So anyways, that's been my brainchild here. I actually just gave birth to this project less than 24 hours ago. So where the coin is actually up and tradable on a cryptid exchange. So we have the cryptid coin. It's like, okay, well, why did you do that? Just so you can make money. It's not about money. It's about creating a currency that is unique to the cryptozoology community. And I mean the global cryptozoology community.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's really cool. I'm just blown away. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
So it's not just that you're gonna buy this coin and and whatnot. It's about a means of exchange, and it's about building community and bringing people together. One of the there's a number of aspects to, and I'm not selling an investment or anything like that. I'm just, the coin's available if you want to buy it. But the purpose behind it is to build this global cryptozoology community around the blockchain and whatnot. And when you invest in the coin or when you buy the coin, there's a number of benefits that come with that. And when I say that, like a certain amount of the coin, proceeds from the coin are going to be funding Bigfoot or cryptozoology expeditions across the globe.
Oh, cool. Yeah, that's fantastic.
Yeah, so we're going to be doing that. So there's reason to get involved with that. And also I've spoken with a number. The other thing is, it's going to be I want it to be the official currency of the cryptozoology community. And so just much like you would get online and you would pay with a credit card to purchase something from, a vendor at a Bigfoot convention or paranormal convention or something like that, you will be able to use cryptid coin to make a purchase to, buy some swag, to buy something as an official currency. And I've talked to a number of vendors across the country that they're really on board with it. They like the idea of the cryptid community having its own currency, and that they will accept it as payment to purchase anything from DVDs to shirts, TVs, whatever it is that you want to do.
That's fascinating to me. I don't claim to know anything about this stuff, but I find it really exciting because I think it's neat that it's kind of our own currency. I think that's fun. And it's exciting that it does so much to fund the community, and will move forward many projects that may never get off the ground without it. Because the one thing about this, the paranormal and cryptozoological stuff is there's not a huge, funding in traditional senses for these things. That's most often it's local groups getting together to go out there and try to bring this to the awareness of the world, the world. But it's on their own blood, sweat, and tears. So at least the proceeds of this will move the needle forward and create maybe more energy and more results by encouraging more activity in research.
Man, dude, you totally nailed it right there. You totally nailed on that, because that's one thing. Because if you try, if you try to get people together. In today, I mean, without any, common concept, to gain consensus, it's really, really difficult in the cryptid community. So I'm going to use cryptid for short, but whether it may be Bigfoot or something like that. But when you can get people aligned and all together through something like cryptid coin or something like that, where everybody's got a pooled interest in whatever it may be that they're pursuing, whether it be Bigfoot or whether it be the Dogman or whatever, and they're all working that together, and funding's going to come out of that from their participation in that. Funding's going to come out, a couple times a year to fund their research. So pool, you totally hit on. I'm probably not explaining it very well, but you totally hit on with that.
Wow, that's exciting. Very cool.
So we're so and among that, I just want to run down these before we run out of time. I just want to run down, because we're looking at, there's out of the proceeds of coin and stuff, we're looking at, grants for research, and I'd like to do at least minimum two of those to possibly 3 a year. Also you're looking at discounts on expeditions for companies. I've been in touch with a few companies that actually do expeditions besides us. You're looking at, we're going to award seats on expeditions to coin holders.
Oh, cool.
They're going to receive discounts and VIP access to events. I mean, there's a number of benefits. And we're just kind of talking right now about that, but all of this stuff will be listed on the website for the coin.
Oh, neat. That's exciting.
So you can go in there and check it out. And I want to give you the web address. It's www.cryptidcoin.io is the website. And there's not a ton of content on there right now. but we're talking about stuff that hasn't actually been put on the website yet, just because it's only me working on this. But it'll be on there in the next couple of days.
Wow. Did you get that on there, Don?
I did not. What was that? What was that again?
It's cryptid coin.
Cryptid coin.
.io.
.io. All right, I put it out in the chat for our YouTube audience, and they can check it out.
Yeah, there you go, cryptidcoin.io. And the coin is currently available. I mean, it's live. I mean, it's up and it's tradable. You can go to Pancake Swap and you can exchange BNB. It's a BNB cryptid coin pair. It's up there. It's tradable. You can buy it. You can do whatever you want to do with it. Mm-hmm. And I think I should probably give you a disclaimer. It's cryptocurrency, and I'm not an investment advisor, and I'm not giving you investment advice. And I have to tell you that you could lose your arse on anything. If you're looking at it as an investment, please don't do that. Mm-hmm. If you look at it as a community building effort, and that you're going to be part of a global cryptid community, and that's what you're building with this, please don't look at it as an investment.
Okay.
But these things do fluctuate in value because it's only been up 24 hours and it's already clicked up. So that's all I'm saying.
Fantastic. Wow. Yep. You know, I've known you for a few years now, and I'm always amazed at how much you can bite off and chew. I'm telling you.
Yeah. You know what? So am I, but I will tell you, I am winding down, brother. I was just commenting my wife were watching the show earlier before I got on here, and I was like, you guys have been doing the show for years, and you do it consistently on and off and all that without a break. And I just thought, man, I have a lot of respect for you guys for doing that.
Oh, well,
because
thank you.
You know, I have a lot of energy, but frankly, I can't. I mean, you do a great show, but your commitment to what you do is phenomenal.
Well, thank you, brother. I really appreciate it, and it's always a pleasure to have you on. And you just let me know when you want to come back. I'll be happy to have you back, and we'll discuss more of this stuff and dive into some more specifics about some of the work you're doing and some of the expeditions you've done.
You bet. And I appreciate that. And people feel free to call me. My phone number is listed on our website. If you have a question about anything, feel free to email me. I'll get back to you as soon as I can. This is not always real quick. I'm getting a lot these days. But yeah, if you have any more questions about anything that we're doing or about the cryptid coin or how you can get involved in that, please do. Just feel free to email me and I'll get back to you. And then before I go here, I just want to tell you, I have any of you seen Alaskan Killer Bigfoot? I have to ask.
No, I haven't seen it. No.
Okay, well then I'll leave it at that.
All right, brother. Well, thank you so much for coming on. It's always a pleasure, and we'll be talking to you soon, I'm sure.
Oh, great, man. Thanks again for having me on the show, man. Donnie Longbeard.
Hey.
See you later, pal.
Yeah, doing good, doing good. Wish you guys the best in the new year.
All right, you too, man.
All right.
Talk to you guys soon. Bye-bye.
All right,
See
take
ya.
care, Stephen. Thank you. Ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Stephen Major.
Yeah.
That was cool.
That's kind of cool. Yeah, he's got his own cryptid coin going on out there. Crypto coin.
Yeah.
The cryptid coin. That's really, really kind of cool.
It's really exciting stuff. Yeah. I mean, I have no idea how any of this stuff works. I've heard about it forever, but I just, I don't know much about it, but this is one of them I'm definitely going to look into because, I think it's cool. It's our community.
Yeah, exactly. So. Yeah. It's made to bolster our community and be able to, have that common, that's kind of secret common code kind of thing going on,
Yeah.
What's your secret handshake? Well, I've got 40,000 cryptid coin. It's like, I'm rich in my own ways.
Absolutely.
And then, maybe I could use it to buy, King Gerhardt's books that I don't have yet, and
oh God,
maybe
yeah.
I could use it to, buy Russ's, the books that I don't have from Russ and buy the,
I got to get Russ to sign the books that I got.
Yeah,
So next time I see him, I have to pack
that
them.
might be in September.
It might be in September when we're at the International, but
Hopefully something else will come up though.
Absolutely. So, ladies and gentlemen, I got to take a quick break because I got to use the loo, and we'll be right back to run the remainder of the Paranormal Portal for tonight. So, don't go away. Just give me a couple minutes. play their games. Everybody loves to place their bets. They don't understand the price I paid. They don't care to comprehend. Trace their lines upon my body, dripping scars across my heart. Raging anger boils inside me as their lies keep falling apart. But I'm not broken yet. I'm not broken yet. I am finished with my silence. I am not a stupid boy. No more breaking me with kindness. Just you dance upon my joy. Leading me with empty promise. You're just another fucking mess. Taking off the slice of my sanity. Just make sure that you're well fed. I'm not broken yet. I'm not broken yet. I'm not broken yet. I'm not broken Woo! All right, I got better. That's my saying right now. Yeah, it was really cool to talk to Steven again, and it was really cool he came on the show for a brief time there. But yeah, if you get a chance, ladies and gentlemen, really check out Extreme Expeditions Northwest LLC on YouTube, and you can check out the shows that he's talking about.
Yeah,
really,
I posted them.
Oh, did you? Okay, thank you for doing that. That's
I'll
awesome.
do it again.
You'll do it again. We are going through a article from en.travelers.com talking about potential time travelers. So what do you think of this one, Don, that's a clip from the Charlie Chaplin movie where there's a woman seemingly talking on a cell phone?
Well, I mean, so like we look back at all these like old pictures and stuff, and we like to see familiar things, but it could just be simply that she's holding her hand up because she's walking in front of a camera.
Oh, good
and
point.
just doesn't want to be, doesn't
want to be seen.
It's like, well, whatever. I don't know what's going on here, and
sure,
I don't want my soul snatched from my body and put in a piece of cello for a while.
Do you see this? Do you see this zebra?
It's supposed to be a zebra. Yeah.
It's supposed to be, yeah. But I mean, look at how they painted it. It's like it's like they'd never seen a zebra. Why do the lines go in front? I don't know. Just draw them like straight.
So yeah. So, but I mean, yeah.
Yeah.
We want to see something familiar, and nothing from that era is familiar to us.
Right.
There's nobody here anymore that remembers that kind of stuff.
So this is funny because this is, of course, an image talking about John Titor.
Right.
They're supposed to have to do with an IBM 5100 computer, but this is a microfiche from a library.
Oh, it is, yeah.
This is not a computer at all, so that's not their
right.
best imaging to talk about the subject. But we're going to talk about John Titor now, and this is another one that I don't put a lot of stock in. I think this is all most of these. I think all of the time traveler stories that I've heard so far are just bunk. I don't put a lot into it. Not saying it couldn't be possible and that they're, but I think if there is, they probably wouldn't jump on the internet and start talking about their story.
Right.
It'd probably be something about not wanting to disrupt the flow or not supposed to or whatever. But anyway, John Titor is a pretty famous case of a person who insists he has time traveled despite the critics out there. He is not letting up on his story. What is it exactly? Well, it's complicated, but to shorten it all, began in the autumn of 2000. John wrote about his experience on a forum online, saying he was actually sent back to the 70s to transport an IBM 5100 computer to a future time, and he was from 2036 to be precise. John was just here now as a stop on his way home. And he wanted everyone to know the specifications of the time machine he used were extensive, and many people believed the writing. It endures online to this day. Is it a hoax? I think so, because I think as time went on, people found more and more holes to the story.
Right.
Again, I don't pretend to know. I mean, God, anything's possible, really, but I don't expect that somebody would, go back to the 70s and then decide to just start blogging on the way.
Right.
It's just like, really?
I'm going to stop in 2000
Yeah.
or early 2000 and just say, this is
Sure.
the Thrillist. That's what it is.
And there's lots of theoretical physics out there regarding the time travel. So, I mean, for somebody to spit out a bunch of, science-y stuff wouldn't be hard. I think you could find a lot of theoretical papers online, detailing what time travel might look like, what it might take, and so on and so forth. So I don't think the fact that he had detailed specifications to this potential time machine is that incredible, because I know that there's a lot of thought experiments been put into time travel. So, all right, cool. Paranormal, do you have the 1930 book Mental Radio? Does it work and how? By Upton Sinclair with a preface by Albert Einstein. No, I don't at all. That sounds interesting. I'm curious about this book. That sounds pretty fascinating, Philip. He's asking earlier if there's a Paranormal Portal wish list for books. And I've never even heard of that one. But again, I don't claim to be incredibly educated. I just claim to be incredibly interested in the paranormal.
Yeah.
All right, Greta Thunberg may just be a time traveler.
No.
I don't think so at all. Teen Greta Thunberg, I don't know how to pronounce it.
Just say
Thunberg
Everybody knows.
is a big, environmental advocate of our time. She talks a lot about the future of the planet. According to Greta, we deserve a safe future and demand a safe future, but how could she actually be a person from the past? This photo certainly makes it look like she's a time traveler with a message for humanity. Look at this face and tell us you don't agree. I don't agree. I think it's a passing similarity at best, but
it's happenstance. It's coincidence. It's
the photo actually comes from archives of the University of Washington in Seattle. They say it's just a Swedish girl from another era, but we're not sure. This isn't time traveling Swede, specifically Greta. Well, if you look online, you'll find Nicolas Cage had a doppelganger in the distant past, and several
Kanye
famous people.
West,
Kanye,
Jay-Z.
yeah.
So
there's so many of these out there, and I don't think they're all time travelers.
I think they might share some genetics somewhere, but I doubt I doubt that they're passing through a time machine and going back in time or coming forwards. I just don't think so.
I don't think so either. Thunberg is how they say it. Yeah, it was okay. Thunberg. Thank you, Philip. I appreciate that. But interesting. Next comes these professors claim they met Marie Antoinette. This one I do believe happened. This is in 1901. Two educated Brits named Anne Moberly and Eleanor Jourdain went on holiday in France, as many do, and they visited the palace at Versailles. When they arrived at the mini attraction called the Petit Trianon, Marie Antoinette's private building, they witnessed something odd. They saw parts of the architecture were removed centuries ago, and they claimed to see Marie herself on the grounds. They explained this was due to time travel on the spot. Was it? Many called this a joint delusion or a misinterpretation. But despite the critics, the women published a book explaining the incident under pen names, Elizabeth Morrison and Frances Lamont, and it's called An Adventure. It's still available today. No, I think I don't think that's necessarily time travel. I think that could be something like a psychic impression. It could be a glimpse,
Right.
A dimensional glimpse.
A peer between the veil.
Right, exactly. I mean, there's lots of stories of people like there's one in ancient Britain where a person was just walking their dog along a path, and suddenly there was armies in full armor marching past her. And they looked at her and saw her and just kind of kept going because they were on their way to battle. And she said that she basically blinked,
Right.
and they were gone. And she was back alone on this, this pathway. And she didn't claim to time travel, but she thought maybe it was a ghostly vision or something of the like. But I think those are just time echoes. I mean, just again, some part of the multiverse just popping through.
Right.
And so I think that's not unusual. And I think these two women probably saw what they saw.
Well, they talk about, the veils between the different dimensions being like these really, nebulous, thin
Membranes.
membranes. Yeah. And when the membranes touch, we have these glimpses of what's on the other side.
Sure.
So, that's perfectly, because when you touch, you could open a portal, it negates that time space, and it opens a portal.
Yeah.
So I think that would be, that would be more theoretically easy to understand.
Yeah,
than,
I think so too.
Having to build a machine that you have to, like Orson Welles' Time Machine.
Mm-hmm.
That was supposedly built, it was set back in like 18, right? 18, like 60, I think it was sometime around the Civil War. But anyhow, I digress. But, I mean, it's theoretically more sound. It's something that's natural. So
Right. And that brings up a perfect point of other examples of that phenomena. It's like people visiting Gettysburg often hear the cannons firing and soldiers yelling and screaming and stuff. And just
like
for
Lon Strickler was talking about the other day.
Yeah, exactly. So, I mean, it's not an unusual phenomenon it's not unprecedented.
Right.
So I don't think it's time travel. It's just like a peak at a
it's-
different time and in some order.
Right.
So those vibrations, and then there's the non-Euclidean space-time, which suggests that all time is happening right now. It's just a matter of possibly vibration, resonance. We're just in a different resonance, but the same, all events in history and in the future are happening in this one now. So I guess if that's the case, that's not hard to believe that something could break down and possibly merge. And as Don suggested, that they touched and got a glimpse. All right. Is this evidence of the real-life time traveler? I've seen this image a bunch of times, yeah. Here's the vintage photo, claims to show a crowd at the reopening of the South Fork Bridge in British Columbia. Nothing seems off at first, but online sleuths have looked a lot closer than the average Joe, and they've zoomed in to show you more. Although this picture is from 1941, one man in the middle doesn't seem to be from that era. Could he be from a modern time period somehow? And he looks kind of like a hipster, doesn't he?
Yeah. They call him the time-traveling hipster.
Yeah, the time-traveling yeah, there it goes. Yeah. Time-traveling hipster here really does stand out from the prim and proper ladies and gents all around him. They have fur and overcoats, whereas he has sunglasses and a hoodie, and we think this is incredibly spooky. It's different.
I wouldn't classify that as a hoodie, though. I mean, that's not definitively a hood on the back there. I think he's just wearing it differently. But it does look like your more modern day hipster. But it also kind of just looks like somebody who just happened to be in the right spot at the right time.
Sure.
I mean, it doesn't strike me as very odd. Now, there weren't, there weren't a lot of beatniks back then in 1941, So.
No, probably not a lot.
But, I mean, he could just be fashion forward,
He could have been a visionary. This is where people will be popular in the future.
And wouldn't you think that if he was that far out of sync with the people around him, don't you think the people around
They'd be
him
looking at him like...
would be, what the hell's where'd this guy come from?
Who's this idiot? Yeah. Who's this clown? I think it's interesting because people have speculated that the sunglasses with the sides on them weren't a thing. The shirt.
But they had them because they had them for pilots back then.
Did they?
So I
thought they were goggles.
They did. But, those aren't definitively not goggles either. Because you can't see anything up around his eyelid or his eyebrow. You can't really tell.
Yeah, it could be. I don't know. I think that those are sunglasses, but I think that it's. I don't know that. I agree. I don't think that definitely says, "Hey, this is a time traveler."
Right.
It's just a person seems to have a camera down here, right?
It seems to be out of place. Yeah.
Like down here is a camera.
They definitely did not have cameras. If that looks like a DSL, Sony DSL,
DSLR, yeah.
Yeah, DSLR, yeah.
Huh.
So, but speculation.
It's all speculation.
It could be.
Could be. I mean, it wouldn't be impossible, but it's strange for sure. Space Barbie. What the hell is
Yeah, she's psycho.
she is. She does look like a doll, the doll, though, doesn't she?
Yes.
A little too thin, maybe, but yeah, wow. Social media has been fascinated by a woman that looks like a real-life Barbie. What the hell does that have to do with time travel? I don't know. Most would say she had a lot of plastic surgery, but the woman in question, Valeria Ligyanova, says she's just another time she's just of another time and another world. Oh, really? Okay. I didn't know it went that deep with her. She explains her mission. I need to look like Barbie. The aim of my life is to come to this planet to help people to realize it's necessary to move from the role of a human consumer to the role of a human demigod.
Oh, my gosh.
Wow. Okay. Whether or not Valeria is really from a different time, we're not sure. If humanity is ready for this new philosophy of being, it might be above our heads. Yeah, I mean, she's an attractive woman, but again, Father Pellegrino Ernetti and the Chronovisor. This is an interesting story. I remember us talking about this one other time, or at least one other time, possibly more. Pellegrino Ernetti was a Catholic priest who talked about all kinds of supernatural phenomena, but what made him stand out in the priestly crowd was his claim that time travel was already a reality, and he claimed he had made a device that could let the wearer witness events from the past, and he said this helped him see the crucifixion of Christ with his own eyes. Quite a claim, isn't it? On his deathbed, Father Pellegrini took his claims back. Some of his colleagues say he was coerced into a false confession, though. We wish we could ask, but he's passed. He's dead.
That's too bad.
Yeah, so we don't know if he was legitimately like, no, you know what, I made it up. I don't want to take this to, the pearly gates to discuss.
Right.
Or if they were like, you need to put this down.
Right.
And he's like, okay, I'll do it for the church.
We have a phone call.
We do have a phone call. Let's get to the phone call. Why does it say Skype? That's weird. All right, let's see what's going on. Cross your fingers. It's not some clown, but
we know who it is.
We do?
Yeah. We do.
I don't.
Because we pay attention.
Okay.
Hello.
Hi, who are we talking to?
Hello, it's Maggie.
It's Maggie.
It's Maggie.
Hi, Maggie. How are you?
I'm good, thank you. Can you hear me?
I can hear you wonderful. Thank you. Glad you called in finally.
Excellent.
Welcome to the show.
Finally.
Welcome to the show.
I was just calling.
Uh-huh.
Oh, we've got a delay, haven't we?
Sure. That's okay, though. That's normal.
Okay. I was just calling because after the Ron Strictly show, last whatever day it was, we went out into the bush, and it was really beautiful actually. There was lots of butterflies and everything, and it was just like magic.
Uh-huh.
It was just like we had lots of water because we haven't had rain for a very long time, and so we just found ourselves in a massive place of like massive boulders, like granite boulders, huge granite boulders, and there was only us there. There was nobody else there. There was a car park.
Oh, nice.
Anyway, as we were Pardon?
I said, that's wonderful.
Yeah, so we're walking through lots of butterflies and, just enjoying nature. And we crossed the stream over a bridge and went over the other side, and there was a ginormous kangaroo, a male kangaroo.
Oh.
So we couldn't go any further on the track. So we had to turn around. So we went back over the bridge, and my husband and my daughter decided to put charcoal on their faces because there had been a fire that had gone through and there was lots of charcoal on the wood.
Mm.
So I left them to it. And I carried on walking, but I pulled my phone out, intuitively, I suppose, because I just got a funny feeling. And a lot of the birds were alarming, but I don't know whether they were alarming because of me or something else.
Uh-huh.
And as I walked up, the big boulders were on my right and the stream was on my left. And as I turned, this ginormous rock landed about a metre behind me.
Oh, wow.
Ooh.
And I just don't have any explanation for it whatsoever. And I've got it recorded. The sound is on the video. And it was quite loud, considering how far behind me it was. And I just don't have an explanation for it at all.
Oh, wow.
But I was thinking about what the stuff that Lon was saying while I was walking, because my husband and daughter were just like messing about, and I was just thinking about all the things. And he mentioned something about a tulpa. Now, I don't really know anything about anything, but
Sure.
I don't know. I just thought I would let you know.
Well, you're in Yowie land, so I mean that's very possible, right?
Yeah. Yeah, and again, there was a sighting actually, just sort of at the entrance to the national park, and we were in by I don't know about 30 miles maybe.
Wow.
Within the national park.
Crazy.
But yeah, I had no explanation for it. It was a big rock, like a big one.
Wow.
How
But I
big?
couldn't probably throw it.
How big do you suppose it was, or how big would you estimate? Like a basketball big, or what?
Oh no, sort of slightly smaller than that.
Okay.
Sort of. I don't know. Probably you could probably hold it quite well, but
Okay.
I could.
But are kangaroos known to throw rocks? Hello? Oh, we lost her.
Oh, we lost her, doggone.
Aw. So that was my joke. It was going to be funny. Dang it.
Well, she did say she saw a massive kangaroo. So
She did, but I think it was back on the other side of the bridge, though.
yeah,
so.
but still, you never know. Those things are crafty. Little
I'm
things.
betting it's a Yowie. I'm betting they had a close Yowie experience.
Yeah, well, why not? Yeah, makes perfect sense.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
Shoot. Well, I'm
No,
sorry.
you're okay. Yeah, no,
Yeah,
we
don't-
lost the call, Maggie. Thank you for calling in. That's awesome.
That was really
Yeah.
cool. I think that's fascinating. And yeah, generally speaking, that's one of the most commonly reported Bigfoot Yowie behaviors is throwing rocks.
Yep.
And it wasn't close enough that it was meant to like try to hit you. It was just maybe letting you know, hey,
She said there was no kangaroos. Not there.
there was
Okay.
no. Okay. So, yep, wasn't a kangaroo. And they don't throw rocks anyway. I knew that. But that was just, helping you reduce all possibilities. But,
Right.
yep. And, I think you were just in the neighborhood or one was in the neighborhood to you. And he's letting you know that he's there or he or she. But very cool. Wow. Yeah, I don't think if you get rocks thrown at you or in your general vicinity, definitely pay attention
Yeah,
because
yeah.
it could either really be okay or it could go really bad after that. And so, definitely take it as the encouragement that it is. And I think it's just their way of saying, hey, you're going the wrong way. You need to get out of here.
Right. Yeah.
I think that's what they
Turn
do.
around, go home.
Thank you so much for calling in. It's great to have talked to you finally. I know you've been so incredibly supportive of the shows, so we really appreciate that.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Absolutely.
She needs an extra clap for calling in.
Oh, sure.
Yeah. Yay!
Amen.
Can we give negative claps? Is there some way we could play it backwards for Gigi?
Oh, no. I don't
Because
think
she's I'm gonna call in. No, she never calls in. She's one of them,
She is.
one of
That's
them.
okay. Everybody calls when they're ready,
Yeah,
and we're
that's
always
true.
waiting.
That's right.
let's see. I want to read.
And then there was that one time we called Galactic Pixie, and she damn near had
Oh, she almost went in a stroke. Yeah. That's right. Pixie, when we called her, she was like, really? Yeah. she
Breathe,
was-
it's just us.
It's just, we're just two idiots with microphones. I guess that's about going to be it, folks. I think we kind of ran the cycle, and
I gotta get going home because I got an early day tomorrow.
Don's got an early day. And ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for being a part of the journey with us tonight. We hope you've enjoyed it. I know I've enjoyed it. Don, did you have fun?
I always have fun, believe it or not.
Believe it or not. Well, it's not. It's hard to tell something. No, I'm just kidding.
Don, are you there, Don?
Don, wake up, Don.
It's all good, man.
It's all good. But anything in closing, brother?
No, just thanks for being here. Thanks for, it's always been awesome, So there you go. And thanks to Stephen Major for being on the show.
Yeah.
I'm going to have to go check out, now what was the MetaMask? Is that the one?
MetaMask is the
All right.
the aggregate
There
or
you
the
go.
wallet or whatever. Yeah.
Yep. Okay.
Very cool, man. All right, ladies and gentlemen, listen, that's going to wrap it up for us tonight. Thank you so much for being a part of the journey. As always, we appreciate you being a part of the family. We'll be back on Friday night. Portal Mom, good night. Good night. Wonderful. Thanks for the show, Honey and Don. Good night, all Portal friends. Love y'all. All right. So we love you all. Just remember that. Be good, be kind, be nice, take care of each other, help each other out. Find the magic in every day and remember to laugh as much as you can. We'll be back Friday nights, and I hope you'll join us. If not, I'll expect a note from your doctor on my email.
Yep.
All right, guys. Love you guys. We'll see you soon. Take care. Be good. And until next time.
Good night.